Iconic animal myths shattered. Science misled you. For over 100 years, every killer whale on Earth, from the freezing Arctic to the waters of Antarctica, has been classified as one single species, one animal, worldwide. But in 2024, a team of scientists published findings that completely shattered that belief. What we thought was one species is actually two completely different animals. And the most shocking part? They've been living side by side in the same ocean for over 300,000 years. Never mating, never mixing, never crossing that invisible line. So how did we miss this for so long? And what does it change about everything we thought we knew? For over a century, every killer whale carried one scientific name, Orcinus orca, one species, settled science. But the cracks started showing in the 1970s when a Canadian researcher named Michael Bigg began studying killer whales off the Pacific Northwest coast. He noticed something that didn't make sense. Two groups of killer whales living in the exact same waters, same ocean, same coastline, but they never hunted together, never communicated, never mated. They shared a habitat like two neighbors who had lived next door for thousands of years and never once knocked on each other's door. Bigg was originally tasked with counting killer whales, so the government could determine how many could be captured for marine parks. He went out, expecting thousands. What he found stopped him cold. There were hundreds, and every single animal had a unique dorsal fin, like a fingerprint. Bigg began cataloging them one by one, tracking individuals across years and decades. He invented photo identification, a method every marine researcher in the world uses today. And through this painstaking work, he was the first to document two completely separate killer whale societies living in the same water. He published his findings. He raised the alarm. The scientific community acknowledged behavioral differences, but stopped short of calling them separate species. Bigg died of leukemia in 1990, before the genetic tools existed to prove what he had spent his life trying to show the world. In 2024, a team of geneticists and marine biologists at NOAA published a paper in the Royal Society Open Science Journal that changed everything. Using whole genome sequencing, the most comprehensive genetic analysis tool science currently has, they read the complete genetic code of both populations from start to finish. Tissue samples were collected through small skin biopsies using a crossbow dart, minimally invasive and leaving the animal unharmed. What they found was genetic divergence far beyond what you would expect from two populations of the same species. These were the signatures of two lineages, evolving completely independently for hundreds of thousands of years. On top of the DNA, they layered acoustic data and found the call structures of both populations so different the two groups cannot effectively communicate with each other. Then they added physical measurements, body size, fin, shape, jaw structure, pigmentation, all pointing to the same conclusion. Every single line of evidence pointed in the same direction at the same time. The resident killer whale would be renamed Orcinus ater. The other, named in honor of Michael Bigg, would become Orcinus rectipinus. Two animals, two names, two species we had been calling one our entire lives. And here is what makes it even more remarkable. A whaler named Charles Melville Scammon documented two distinct types of killer whales back in 1869 and submitted a manuscript to the Smithsonian. Over 150 years ago, the scientific community ignored it. The evidence was always there. Science just wasn't ready to accept it. So what actually makes these two animals different? On the surface, they look similar, but go deeper and the differences are staggering. Diet first. Resident killer whales eat fish almost exclusively salmon. Bigg's killer whales are mammal hunters. Seals, sea lions, dolphins, even other whales. Same ocean, completely different menu. Then look at how they hunt. Residents use echolocation, constantly clicking and calling to locate fish. Bigs hunt in near total silence. Small groups, no calls, no clicking, because their prey can hear underwater. Two animals in the same water that developed completely opposite survival strategies over thousands of years. Their social structures differ too. Residents form large, multi-generational family pods that stay together for life. Bigs form smaller, loosely connected groups built around the hunt. Think tight extended families versus specialized hunting units. Even their bodies differ. Residents have rounder curved dorsal fins. Bigs have straighter, more pointed ones. Their jaw shapes and body proportions differ in ways that are unmistakable once you know what to look for. And their language, the frequency, rhythm, and structure of their calls is so different that scientists believe they may be completely acoustically incompatible. Two animals in the same ocean that literally cannot communicate with each other. This discovery does not just change how we classify killer whales, it changes how we protect them. And right now, both populations are in serious trouble. The southern resident killer whale population living off the coasts of Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia has fewer than 75 individuals left. Their primary food source is Chinook salmon, and Chinook populations have collapsed due to overfishing, dam construction, blocking migration routes, and habitat destruction. Scientists have documented residents dying of malnutrition. They have filmed mothers carrying dead calves on their backs for days. On top of starvation, the waters they live in are among the most heavily trafficked shipping lanes on the Pacific coast. Constant underwater noise from cargo ships interferes directly with their echolocation. They cannot hunt effectively in noisy water. They are being starved and deafened at the same time. Big's killer whales face a different threat. Because they hunt mammals high on the food chain, toxic chemicals, PCBs, and DDT compounds, banned decades ago but still persisting in ocean sediment, accumulate in their bodies through every meal. Female Big's killer whales pass these toxins to their calves through milk. Some individuals in European waters carry PCB levels so high their immune systems are severely compromised. Formal recognition of both as separate species means two separate legal identities, two separate recovery plans, and two separate fights for survival, with the full weight of conservation law behind each one. But here is the bigger picture this story forces us to confront. If we spent over 100 years misidentifying one of the most studied, most filmed, most famous animals on the planet, what else are we getting wrong? Killer whales are not obscure deep-sea creatures hiding in darkness. They perform in marine parks. They appear in documentaries. They are one of the most recognizable animals alive. And we still had them wrong. Now, think about what is living in the 75% of the ocean floor we have never explored. The giant squid was considered a myth for centuries, until Japanese researchers photographed one alive in 2004, a 4.3-foot animal hiding from science in plain sight for all of recorded human history. In 2023, a single expedition to the Cocos Ridge off Costa Rica identified over 100 species never seen before. From one trip, one location, over 100 new animals. Scientists currently estimate between 700,000 and 1 million species live in the ocean that have never been formally identified. Not fossils. Living animals sharing this planet with us right now that we have never named and in most cases never seen. The killer whale story is a warning and a wonder at the same time. A warning that even our most confident classifications can be wrong. And a wonder that an ocean this full of secrets is sitting right here on our own planet, waiting to be understood. Two animals. One name. 300,000 years of separation. And 150 years of science, catching up to what a single whaler noticed in 1869. Michael Bigg spent his career trying to show the world what his data was telling him. He never lived to see it confirmed. But the ocean kept his answer safe until science was finally ready to hear it. If this changed how you see killer whales, share it with someone who thinks they already know everything about them. And if you want to keep going deeper into the mysteries the ocean is still hiding, subscribe. Because we are nowhere near done.